Hey, welcome everybody to the stream. We are doing an interview today with Sasha Zotova. Did I say that right?
Zotova, but it's
Zotova.
it's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. All foreign people are pronouncing this like Zotova. It's fine. I used to this.
Well, welcome everybody and welcome Sasha. Sasha, for people who aren't familiar with you, I know they've seen the face, they know that you're Jill, but can you kind of give a background about yourself and introduce yourself to the audience?
So I'm Sasha Zotova. Sasha from Russia. I'm 25 years old, and I this year I became a face model of Jill Valentine,
That's
as
right.
you almost all know already.
And you look awesome, by the way. I think Jill's redesign was perfect. It still matches her so much from what we already knew, but gives her, a young, fresh face, your face, to go forward in this series. So thank you so much.
Thank
Um,
you.
so what did you do? I mean, you've been a model for how long now?
Um, Around 10, 11 years, I think.
Oh, wow, since you were
But
young. So,
yeah. But I had been studying in between,
mhm.
so and I had big breaks, and after I started again, so it took a lot of time.
Okay. What made you get into modeling?
Mm, it's difficult. I mean, I didn't have this dream before.
Mhm.
It just it happened by chance.
Really?
I didn't have this dream.
You just meet the right person and says, "Hey, you should be on pictures everywhere."
Yes.
Pretty
Once
much.
I met my scout first, and after he introduced me to my agent,
Mhm.
and the story was something similar to your words. Yes, they
Okay.
said me something like you need to try. You had to try.
Nice. And here you are. How did you get into the Resident Evil 3 part? How did they come across you and how did you work that out?
So it was just a request from my mother agency. They asked me, so we got an email and they asked us to send pictures of you, like special pictures. You need to make a fresh one, and you need to make them by references. And I said okay. And after my agent said me like it's for video game. I said, what video game? I could imagine how um, like I could imagine how I can work for some big brands like cosmetics, clothes, whatever, but not video games.
Right.
I didn't even understand the time that why they need real persons, because that time
Mm-hmm.
it was 2017.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2017, and I'm not a gamer before. I
Okay.
didn't. I wasn't a gamer, so I didn't really know how it works, and I didn't understand why they need a real person to make a character. So, but one thing which I was mm, uh, dreamed about, it was to go to Tokyo, to Japan, and that's why I think it was the most important thing why I wanted to get this job so much. Yes.
Right, not the game part, not any of that, but Japan. I don't blame you.
Yes, because I wasn't a gamer
Right.
that time. That's why I didn't understand, of course.
Well, that's still somewhat new technology. I see where you didn't understand that they were using why take a actual person, why not just make one like you had done before. So it's still new technology they're working with, but I think it really lends a lot to the character when they scan someone who looks, as much of the part as possible and puts them in there. And it opens up a new career for models. This is something brand new.
Yes, and after my friend, this year when everybody knew that I became a prototype for Jill Valentine, my friend, he's a producer. He works in magazine, and he's really in video games. He said, "Oh, it's so cool! You can't even understand." That time, I also couldn't understand how cool it was. But he said me that even Hollywood stars, it's like a new level for Hollywood stars. Even
Hmm.
they try something new, and it's like really new level for actors, even for actors.
Yeah, that's true. Now we're starting to see Hollywood actors more and more pop up in video games, big name actors too. So it shows that video games are becoming more of a common medium for storytelling, that a respected medium.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it's not just, oh, those are just video games like they used to be. Those are kids things, or those are guys who, live in their mom's basement type of thing. But no, it's there are legit, great ways to tell beautiful, really complex stories with interesting characters. And you are now going to be attached to the Resident Evil 3 remake forever, as long as that game is in existence. So that's got to feel pretty good. That's always going to be yours. That's pretty
Yes, my
amazing.
friend told me like you are in the history, like you won't be removed from this game,
Hmm.
never.
Right. Yeah, forever. And well, unless they mod you out. I don't know if you've seen the mods that have come across, all the crazy mods of putting different
Yeah,
character
I've
models
I've
or
seen them
doing
as well.
yeah. Yeah, there's creative people out there. So, what was the experience like? So, your scout or your agent is the one who came across it and gave you the opportunity. They flew you to Japan to do the scanning?
Yeah, yeah. I mm, at first, of course, I had like two. Um, First, I had casting, and after the first casting, I had another one. And Capcom. That time, I didn't even know that the client was Capcom. They asked um, to dress up, actually like a Jill. I
Mhm.
even I realized this recently, and when I found these pictures actually, and they asked me to make some pictures. They asked me make pictures like different emotions, express different emotions,
Mhm.
and make some videos like when I'm expressing some emotions as well. So, and after I sent, and actually it's like a standard procedure when you want to get a job, even like ordinary modeling job. You
Mhm.
make content, you make material, and you just send to the client. And after they get this, they choose you or don't choose you, and let you know, give you their answer.
Right, right. And you said you weren't really into video games before you got the part. Are you playing it now? I've seen you've done a lot of live streams with people who are playing the game, but have you yourself started to play the game or other video games in general?
Yes, after Resident Evil 3 Remake, I started to open this whole and super interesting game world for myself, and I really enjoying this now. And the guys always support me in this, and always um, advise me different video games, give me some tips how to make this or that in particular video game. And it's so nice. I love this community, and um, I even can't express it properly, but it's so amazing, and I really happy to be inside of all this.
Definitely, yeah. It's the Resident Evil family is a big one, and
Yes.
very welcoming for the most part. There's a
Mm-hmm.
few out there that are not as happy about what happens with the game. Everybody has something they want to see, and they always complain when they don't get it. But I think it's been, as far as the character models and the new actors have been very well received. Is it weird to play the game, seeing your face that you've been seeing your whole life, but to hear somebody else's voice come out of it?
Mm, it's kind of weird because I saw that Jill has my appearance. I've heard Nicole's voice, but I could just understand that Jill has my appearance
Hmm.
just by the end of this game. I mean, for me, it's more difficult to understand, more difficult, or not difficult. It's more weird to hear Nicole's voice now, because I tried to play Resident Evil remake 3 remake recently
Hmm.
for Halloween, and I I I can't imagine, like, no, not like this. uh I always imagine like Nicole is like very close to me, and I always imagine she's pronouncing these words, but it's kind of weird. I don't feel like she stole my appearance or whatever. I could like notice that by the end of the game when I played the first time for the first time. It's cool. I
It's got to be an
it's
adjustment. You got to get
it's
used to it, I
difficult
imagine.
to explain, but mm, I really understood it very late, because by the end of the game, that's it.
Right. Nicholas in the chat brought up an interesting point. The model who had been used for Jill in the past, Julia Voth, really embraced the character and the community. She loved doing cosplay, dressing up as Jill, playing with Jill memes like the Jill sandwich stuff, and everybody really loved her dedication not just to the character but to the fan base. And now you're stepping into that role. Have you talked to her at all? Have you guys ever connected?
I've tried to
Hmm.
connect her recently, but I didn't have any response. Probably she didn't see,
Yeah,
hasn't seen this yet.
maybe not. If you guys out there that are fans that communicate with Julia frequently, let her know that Sasha would like to say hi. Maybe we can get the two Jills together for a meeting.
I would love to know her, because I find her really beautiful, and all this this competition,
Hmm.
which is not exist in real life, between fans, because I got this attention from Julia's fans as well,
Hmm.
and when they try um, to offend me and said like, you're not Jill, and
Hmm.
I understand everything, and I understand that it's just a choice of your preferences, and
Right, right.
I'm totally fine with this, and what can I say, it's normal. We can both no, not both. Nowadays there are so many Jill Valentines, I can
Yeah,
say,
that's
like
true.
Julia,
Yeah.
what Nicole,
Hmm.
um actresses who were participating in movies,
Hmm.
and which who will participate in movies. Like there are three upcoming projects, like with
That's that's what we've heard. We've
from.
seen some pictures come out, some stuff behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, they're supposed to be making the first few games are supposed to be actually translated into movies.
Mhm.
So we'll see who's Jill in the new Jill in live action. Uh, but it is interesting. So and that's that negative side I'm talking. But there are people in the fan base that are very specific about what they want. Like you said, oh, you're not Jill, but what they didn't want to accept is that you are Jill now. So, and we see that. It's just you kind of have to. Okay, I see it. I'm not gonna feed into it. I'm not gonna argue with you about it. That's your opinion. That's fine. You're entitled to that. But
Yes, yes,
you
it's
know,
totally fine, and I don't want to argue, because it's why should
exactly,
I do this?
exactly.
It's
And
your
sorry, yeah,
opinion.
yeah,
I'm fine.
exactly. Yeah, I'm doing fine. So, it's like I'm pretty good. And I know there's a lot of people that love you. I know at least the majority is very happy with what happened. So, and I think you're great. You really fit the part well. You have a great look in the game. Is it strange to see your character, your face, when Jill's getting the crap beat out of her? She gets pretty beat up in this game. Is it strange to see your face on this person going through all these hardships and being thrown around by Nemesis and all this
Mm-mm,
stuff?
mm-mm. As I said before, like I didn't really felt like um, I was hurt or something like that. Hmm? No?
Yeah, it's not real. It's just strange to see like your character just by the end. I mean, she had gone through a long night. She's beat up, bloody, bruised. It's just got to be interesting to see. Like, oh, well, I
And
guess if I ever did,
most of the time you can see her from the back, and probably that's why.
that's true. That's
And
true. Yeah,
when I could see some screenshots, yes, I like, oh, in from this angle, she looked like me, and from this angle, not so much, something like that, something like that.
everybody's very thankful. I'm reading through some of the chat. A lot of people were, mentioning how beautiful you are, and thank you so much for your hard work for
Thank
the
you so
game.
much, guys.
I saw one, and someone asked, "Have you had a Jill sandwich?" But my something interesting. You know the meme, the joke about the Jill sandwich.
Yes, yes, of course,
Very
sure.
famous in the Resident Evil community and iconic bad acting from the old days. But I have a. This is an interesting question. I don't know if I've asked any of our Jills yet. That what would be your version of a Jill sandwich?
I have a story with that because I was contacted with a Brazilian fan community,
Hmm.
and the guy he asked me about recipe of my favorite sandwich, and they did a so nice video. They prepared the sandwiches, and they made a video of this preparation, and after he sent me a nice video message like, thank you, Sasha, it was very tasty, something like that. And one more time, I remember that in between my streams, I didn't used to spend so much time in front of computer, and it's kind of difficult to sit in one place like for 2 hours. And of course you want to drink something, or sometimes you didn't have enough time before stream to eat properly. And my brother, couple times my brother made for me like sandwich, really sandwich. He didn't really know about this thing.
Right.
And once I said like, guys, I'm very sorry, I need to have a small break, and I started to eat my sandwich, and it became like a small tradition for Resident Evil games. Yes, and I remember when Nicole invited me for her stream.
Hmm.
We started her stream from eating of Jill sandwich, like no words, but like just eating. It was
That's
kind of
great.
fun, yeah. And guys really like that because it's so inside joke, and
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
only Resident Evil fans can
exactly.
understand.
Yeah, Jill eating a Jill sandwich is perfect. So, Big John asked, well, he says number one, you were very pretty, and two, were you a fan of Resident Evil before now? Whether it's the movies, you said you weren't into video games, but did you have any run-in with that? And I mean, the movies are huge all around the world, so I don't know if you were a fan of the series before you found out that you had gotten the part.
Of course, I have watched some movies. I'm
Hmm.
not sure that I watched all of them, but I know about this franchise, about these movies. And even if I wasn't into video games, I've heard. I don't know why and from where I could know that. I knew that this movie was created regarding video games. I
Hmm.
don't know how it came to my mind, but I knew that for a long time, and mm, and that's it. Yes, I haven't played this game, and what can I say? I think I have watched this movie when I was something, I don't know, 15 or 13, something like that. I don't really remember if I like that or no. I definitely knew that I loved Mila Jovovich, but not from this franchise. I really loved her from Fifth Element when I watched this
Yeah, great movie.
when I was 5 for the
Yeah.
first time. I didn't know why I am so into. So uh, I find these movies nice, but as all fans know, it's almost not similar for with video games. It's super
Right.
different.
Well, it looks
It's
like
a
the
new
new ones
story.
are going to be much closer to what the games were. The movies kind of went off on their own uh, storylines, made up their own characters. They introduced a lot of the game characters, but they weren't true to the Resident Evil story that had been built through the game. So we'll see how the new movies go. Vander Cool Studios says, "How does it feel to be with Carlos and the other characters in the story of Resident Evil 3?" So I'm going to kind of break that question up a little bit. I know Benson has been very active as well as you are with the fan base. We had him on Wednesday. He was very, very into it. He came in full Carlos cosplay. He was in full costume. How has that been working with him? You guys have done some stuff in the past, just kind of talking, doing. Have you done streams and stuff together? Right.
We did like token streams
Right.
together. Yeah.
How's that been? Not just you being in the community, but having this other person that you have met through the game, knowing that your characters are connected in the game. What has that experience been like with you?
I find Benson is super nice, and
Hmm.
he's super interesting. He knows like 5 or 7 languages, something
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah, he's very
He
smart.
he Yes, and it's, I find this experience so unique. I um, I could meet in Discord, but um, Benson, Nicole, director of Resident Evil cutscenes, Steve, and I really enjoying this time of speaking and sharing experience with each other, and it's it's kind of sharing energy, and it's beautiful. I think
I
it's
like that.
so
Yeah,
lovely.
it's a good way to put it. Sharing energy. That's a good way, I think, to explain how these interviews go for me. It's a lot of sharing energy because we've never
Mhm.
met before. We've this is actually the first time we've talked. JJ is the one who's communicated with you up until this point, but getting on here, we both have a love for what we're doing right now, and we just share that energy. It's why we enjoy this so much. And Benson's in the chat right now, by the way. Hi, Benson.
Hi, Benson.
Let me see here. I'm going to go through some of these questions. Benson wants to know about the mods, your thoughts on the different mods. He had a interesting idea about that the other day when we were talking. They've had some crazy mods for your character. Have you seen any of these mods and any thoughts on them?
Mods for Jill,
Hmm.
you mean, right?
Right.
Yes, I've seen a lot. Guys still sending most of them to my direct, but I'm totally fine with it. I mean, it's not my body
Exactly. Yeah.
anyway. Yes.
It may be
And
your face, but
I don't really understand why they ask me to make a video with my reaction of this on these mods, because I'm totally fine. Like with the, uh, it's the same as I've said about preferences.
Mhm. Good point. Yeah.
No offense, It's your choice. It's your opinion. It's your preference.
Jeff M wants to know, since you've kind of taken on gaming a little bit since the game came out, and people were suggesting different games for you to play. Have you played any other games that you enjoy outside of Resident Evil?
Yes, I try to mix like one game from Resident Evil franchise and other one from another. So I've played recently. I've played Mafia
Hmm.
Definitive Edition,
Right, the remake of the first one.
remake. I really like that. I loved Detroit Become Human. I really love
That
this
was, yeah,
game.
definitely very cinematic and story driven game.
Yes, yes. So, um, what else? What else? The new game. I've tried the new game, um, Little Hope. You know.
Little the new one, yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good as Detroit Become Human because it's in the same in the same category,
Right, right.
interactive
These
movie or something like that.
exactly interactive movies.
Um, Detroit is much better. So what else? What else? I think I think that's it. I didn't play too much games yet, but I've studied Tomb Raider yesterday,
hmm
and I really liked that part which I played yesterday, and I really loved Resident Evil 7. It's totally different from Resident Evil 3,
Right.
2 remakes, uh, and it's still very was very interesting, and all this DLC. I couldn't beat Jack uh,
The Baker, the daddy.
Baker.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so awful. I spent all my euros on that fight. I tried it 2 times, and no, I couldn't manage that. But I hope one day I will do this.
That game still stands out for me too, and it's strange because like, we've covered it a lot. I've interviewed so many people, we've done so much content on it, and it's not something I regularly play as much as I play the old games, as much as I love them. But that game still stands out to me a lot. Whenever I think about it, I always get a positive memory. I really enjoyed it, and as a game itself, it doesn't even have to be a Resident Evil game. The first person, the mechanics, the new game engine they put into it, bringing the horror back in such a big way. I think that's why I still really enjoy just the thought of that game. And I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 8 because I know it's going to bring more of what they did good in 7. And it's going to bring some of those main characters back as well, which is going to be nice to see. I saw one here. Ahmad Amran wants to know, what is your favorite movie?
Oh, my favorite movie. It's when people ask me such questions,
hmm
I feel like somebody removed my memory uh, at once. Um,
Right.
Mr. Nobody, I love this movie. I love mm, Fontaine Aronofsky. You
Valentine
know,
Aeronauts. It sounds familiar. What is
with the Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman? How recent was this?
It's the old one, I think, 2001 probably.
Oh, well, what kind of movie was it?
It's kind of drama, existence
Was
drama, something like that.
was it the one with the magicians, or it's been a long time? I mean, 2001's a while ago.
I will check. I should check.
That's
I
about the
think
time that I discovered him because of X-Men.
mm, no, it was I think in between.
In between.
X-Men was before and after,
Okay.
like Rasama. How do you pronounce it in English?
Rasuma.
No, no, no. How do you call Hugh Jackman as
hmm
an X-Man? How do you call him?
Wolverine?
Okay, I will check it
Oh,
because I
okay,
I'm totally I'm
yeah.
totally sure that it's super different from Russian.
Okay, okay.
Sometimes I like to mix up Russian and English words. It's kind of Darren Aronofsky,
hmm
Fontaine. Yes. No,
Oh, Fountain
2006,
of Fountain of
2000.
Youth? Is that the one? Fountain of Youth? Is that the one?
Fontaine, yes, with Hugh Jackman,
Okay.
2006. Yes,
2006.
I recommend you. And from this director, from Darren Aronofsky, one more movie,
hmm
Mom, with
Is that the new one with Jennifer Lawrence? The
yeah, yeah,
horror
yeah,
one?
yeah, yes,
Yeah, okay,
yes,
now I know
yes.
now I recognize the name. Aronofsky. Okay.
Mhm.
I think I know what you were talking about. It's called Fountain. I like right. That's what you said, Fountain
Hmm.
in
Probably
2006.
my just my pronunciation. I'm sorry.
I think I remember that one. I think is Colin Farrell in that movie with him?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Probably.
I think I remember, but I'm not sure. It's an older movie, so I'd have to go back and take a look. But I know
Okay.
Aronofsky.
Okay.
Aronofsky's a classic director. He has some very interesting,
Hmm.
deep movies.
Yes.
Mom, it was called Mom.
Black Swan, I
Black
think.
Swan, yeah,
Uh-huh.
was with Natalie Portman. That movie and that movie was really deep, really
Hmm.
twisted too, really dark. Uh,
Hmm.
so when you went out there to do your face scanning, I was talking with Benson. They basically put you inside of a giant spear of cameras, I guess, like a
It
giant
wasn't
circle.
like a sphere. It was like just how do you call it? Mm, uh, you was I was sitting in the middle of
Hmm.
mm, the theme when
Okay.
you just fix your camera or phone. How do you call it? And make some content.
Oh, like okay, yeah, I think I get what you're talking about. Was there a lot of cameras or just the one
No, no, it was like 36.
36 just all around you
36.
catching different angles?
Yes, yes, like yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Would you want to do face modeling for any other games if you were given the choice?
Mm, yes, I think so because it's a nice experience.
What
Yeah, I would
uh
love to.
what kind of games do you think you'd like to be in? Other than Resident Evil, is there a certain game series out there that maybe you've heard about, like Call of Duty or something like that?
I've heard a lot about The Last of Us, but I'm not really know about the plot and
Hmm.
I haven't played it yet. But and I know that there are Hollywood stars.
Hmm.
Yes, I think I would love. It's difficult to say about this. I love Detroit,
Hmm.
and probably I would love to be a main character of a game like Detroit Become Human.
Something very story driven, big interactive. And
Yes.
Detroit, that company, I think they
Mm,
do face scanning now. I think Detroit they used face scanning, or at least partially, and then did some modifications in there. But I could foresee the scanning process becoming a lot more active in the games with how well Resident Evil has done it. I think a lot more companies could start doing that. So there's
yes,
and
and oh, I want to share a secret with you.
mhm.
I'm going to publish a interview with the director of Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil 8. Everybody knows this because he said it in Nicole's during Nicole's stream. So and it was very interesting to speak to him.
Mhm.
Really, he used to work in Ubisoft
Mhm.
and he used to work in Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream did Detroit Become Human, right?
Right.
And before Detroit Become Human, they made a small film named Kara. Have you,
Yes, I've
you,
seen that.
you
Mhm.
know? So, and he was working on this film, and this film was like a not a prequel, but they during this making this film, they tried new engines
Mhm.
and they tried new technologies, how to scan people and how to deal with this. So um, so he was working, I can say that on that project in some way as well.
That's pretty
So and
interesting.
yes, and Detroit Become Human. I've read a lot of information about this project. They started 2012, I think,
Mhm.
and they spent around 4 years to make this because the cast is huge and they scanned so much people
Mhm.
for this game. And of course, this technology of motion capture and scanning faces and bodies uh, evolving and becoming better and
It
better.
really has. Just from that one short you were talking about, it's come a long way since then. I thought that was amazing when they first showed it. and I was really excited about the future. Plus, what it was hinting to with becoming human coming out later down the line, because it was kind of like the first teaser to something like that. This cybernetics and androids and things like that. But the technology for it was amazing. I just couldn't get over how amazingly realistic it looked, and to know that one of the key people working on that is with Resident Evil now really shows and explains a lot of why it looks so amazing now with our modeling and everything. It's just pretty cool.
So, and can you imagine that what Capcom did with Resident Evil 3
Mm-hmm.
started 3 years ago? So these technologies, which we saw in 2020,
Mm-hmm.
were used in 2017, 2018. So they existed that time, and
Right,
we
right.
just can.
We're just now
So,
getting
and
it.
can you imagine what result we will have in 2 years
Right.
from now?
What are they using now that we don't know that we're going to see in 2 years? So, yeah, it's exciting. The process of making video games has really grown a lot in the last 15 years, from the different
Yes.
console generations to these more lifelike 4K, beautiful, beautiful, characters and settings. It's awesome. So,
I've tried to play some video games when I was mm, 12, I think 10 or
hmm
12. It was Diablo 2
hmm
and Siberia, I remember. And I when I got this request from Capcom,
hmm
and I was thinking why they need real person for video game, because
right.
my mind was uh,
Thinking
at
of the,
that
yeah,
time when I was playing Diablo, and it was like, why they need a real person?
right. And now
That's
you
why.
see the way it comes out now. It's like, oh, okay, it's come
Hmm.
a long way.
And when I was working with Capcom, and even that time I didn't realize why they were doing all this, and they showed me a trailer of
hmm
the game, uh, of a game. I don't remember the name, but I think um, there was not Nicolas Cage. Uh, Actually, a very famous actor, but I can't recall his name. Um, House of Cards. Have you watched this?
Yes.
And
Um,
what the name?
I know the guy that was in it before was Kevin Spacey.
Yes, Kevin
Okay,
Spacey.
yeah,
Do you know any video game
he
with
was in
Kevin Spacey?
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, I believe. He
Oh,
was the
yeah.
main villain of that
So
one.
and I think they showed me the trailer of that game, and they tried to explain me that
This
it,
is going to
it
be your
will look like
face.
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
And I didn't really believe that, like, me, like, hmm.
right.
But
uh,
it was nice from their side, and they tried to be um, it's my dream to came back, and I love to work with Japanese people. It's so nice. It's the culture, the
definitely, yeah, it's a beautiful
it's
country.
amazing.
It really is. Uh,
Country people.
you've um, you've gone back, and this is a question for Ginger Snaps. They want to talk about your thoughts on the original Resident Evil 3. They said they've seen you playing it on your channel, and they want to kind of get your take on what are your thoughts on the old classic one.
It was more. It was scarier than remake, and but I couldn't handle that because of the uh, how do you call it? I couldn't. Um, I used to play with the mouse and keyboard,
Right.
and there I tried to use my gamepad, and the moving of the character is
It's
so weird.
Yeah, it's very old school tank
But
mechanics is what we call it.
yes, and you really need to have to used to this.
Right. It takes practice. I think going back and playing these old games that we were so good at back then, and felt so normal, and then you play a new game and it's like, oh man, how did we ever even play those games? They were so
Yes,
difficult.
yes, and that's why a lot of fans was making so much jokes about me, like, ah, she can't do this. It's such a shame, or something like that. And some of course, most of them understood that I didn't even hold the gamepad before. I played with mouse and keyboard, but it was so funny for the first time. I didn't even know my brothers set all up, and he gave me a gamepad, and that the first scene when, like, uh, some words and like trailer is coming up,
Hmm.
and gamepad is starting vibrating, and I was so freaked out, and it was so
What's going
funny.
on? Yeah, I guess it's you don't get that with the mouse and keyboard. You don't get that feedback. The
But
new
anyway, it was nice experience. I think I will try game
Yeah,
one
the
day.
the new PS5 controller is pretty incredible. Not only do you get the vibrations now, but it's built to where like your triggers have different types of force feedback. Like if you're shooting a gun, you'll feel the vibration, like the recoil of your gun, just in the trigger.
Really?
And then like you can feel if something's on this side shaking, you'll feel it on this side of the controller, and as it shifts, you'll feel that shift across your controller to the other side. It's pretty amazing. And
Mm.
it's something so little that you didn't think would mean so much when you're playing the game now. It's like, wow, I actually really appreciate these different controls now. They're not just vibrating in general. Now they actually have some more purpose to them. I'm looking through for some more questions. Now, Benson was a fan of Resident Evil before he got picked up for the modeling, and you had some experience with the movies, but you weren't really much familiar with the games. When you got there, was there anything that gave you clues to what you were going to be doing? Benson, they kind of kept him in the dark. He wasn't allowed to ask questions. Did you have any of those questions when you showed up, or did you start putting any pieces together and realize what you were going to be doing?
I had no idea. I even it was almost the same. I came um, now I could recall the building, because I checked when I find on Wikipedia, like Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
It's the building of the main office of there,
Right.
of them in Osaka, and I recall this building. But they brought me on one minivan,
Mm-hmm.
and after they, like, it was really creepy, because uh, for the I got this job for the first time, like video game in
Yeah.
Japan. It's kind of creepy, because and interesting the same time. I didn't know that this kind of job exists.
Mm-hmm.
So they brought me to one place after I had to change minivan, and they did another circle,
Trying to
and
throw you
after
off.
they brought me inside of parking lot, and after they asked me to put on my mm,
A
uh,
hood?
hood,
Or
yeah.
yeah.
So, and don't talk with anybody, something like that. And when I came to the studio, guys didn't really talk English. I had a translator in
Hmm.
there, and I couldn't even ask anything. I've tried, like, I didn't remember why I asked, like, guys, is it going to be some like character who kills zombies or something like that, because it's only what I could imagine, like Mila Jovovich in Resident Evil movies or something like that. And it was like my thoughts.
That's
And
that's so
and
weird.
they looked at each other like so weirdly, and I was thinking like, okay, you don't want to talk to me too
Like, how
much.
does she
I
know?
yeah, I think they thought exactly like this. And I was like, okay, I know it's a job, and I understand everything, and all this privacy and whatever. So um and that's it. I just remember this when I started to like, I asked them that time, and they did like super weird faces, so they were scary about me knowing this information. Yes, they it was super secret, yeah, that time, and I can understand them, of course. And it was the second thing was super weird for me. Like, I was asking, guys, please tell me the name of this game. I want to check this when it will out.
Right,
And they said like it will out in 2 3 years. I said, oh, it's too much. And please name or something like that. We will. Ah, no. They said, uh, how do you call them? Journalists will contact you.
right.
I said like, what? Journalists? Me? I'm like a girl from this small village, and journalist. What are you? What? I was thinking that time. I was thinking like, okay, guys, you're like you created a fairy tale just not to letting me know what is going on here and what the project is. It is. So, and yes,
That's gotta
after
be
I was super shocked.
it's gotta be a little. I don't know if I would be scared in that whole process. I feel like I'd be getting kidnapped or something, or changing bands,
Yes,
putting the hood
yes,
on your
yes.
head.
I was feeling the same. Like,
Like, what did I sign
uh,
up for?
mm-hmm.
So basically, Capcom uses the same tactics as like the CIA or something, some big government shady black ops organization.
Yes.
And I love how they freaked out when you started putting some of those pieces together. Like, she knows too much.
But inside everything was so perfect,
Right.
and yes, people were so polite, and they always ask me, are you fine, do you need something? And it's really I swear it was a dream job. Even I didn't know the result of this. It was so pleasant to work there.
I've seen a few people asking this. I didn't catch many of the names. It's been popping up a couple times. What are your thoughts about Nemesis in the game?
mm. So when I was playing for the first time, of course, I didn't know about. I knew, but I didn't see the previous version of Nemesis. And for me, it's totally fine, and I don't have um, any issues with his appearance, because I also know that there are a lot of arguings
Right.
about
A lot of
him.
people didn't like the redesign. There were certain features like the nose and things like that that they didn't like.
Hmm.
But what about his presence, like as a character in the game? Fighting him, having him chase your character around. How was that for you?
Um, it was. Uh, I'm trying to translate in my mind.
Scary, intense,
Mm. Uh, Tense, yes. Definitely scary, of course. Um, what can I say?
a bit annoying. Like, can you just leave me alone for 5 minutes so I can get through this area?
No, no, it wasn't annoying. Annoying was the Jack Baker in
Jack Baker.
DLC, the end of Zoe, because it was super annoying. But Nemesis, he always gave me such a feeling like, don't relax. You need to
Stand your
fight. You need to
toes.
be strong.
Right.
Yes, yes.
Smithman 4425 asks if you will ever do a Photoshop or photo shoot as Jill, like Benson did with Carlos. He said you've done your cosplay on a stream, which looks amazing. would you consider doing a full photo shoot, just really professional, cool shots of you as Jill?
I was thinking about this. I really want to do this, but I want to do this like perfectly. I only this way is possible for me. And now I'm looking for a nice photographer and for people who will help me to make this idea come true.
Well, if you ever
So,
come stateside and you're up in the Massachusetts area, let us know. Tony is our photographer. I'm sure he'd love to do a photo shoot with you.
mm,
He-
thank you for offering.
Definitely. But unfortunately, he's over here, so can't do much if you're over there right now. Unless you want to stand in front of a green screen, maybe he could do something and just Photoshop you in there. So, how has it been since the games come out? How is your reception? I know the fans love you. What are your thoughts on that? On joining the fan base and the community, and just how everyone's been so welcoming to have you as part of the series now?
Mostly, I can say that people were very nice to me. Of course, like couple or some, not so much. They said that Julia Voigt is only Jill Valentine, and it's okay, it's fine. But in general, I can say that it was super nice to become to uh, to to come into family.
Hmm. That's what I always call it. I think we're one big family of fans, and there are some bad members. There are some good members. There are some people that are, allowed. Just like I said, you think what you think. If you want Julia, that's fine. You like
This is
Sasha,
life.
that's fine. Exactly. Yeah. You have options.
Yes, yes. And one thing which I like the most uh, from the interview with the director, if you want, I can send you a link.
Sure.
I will publish this next week, I think.
Okay.
He said that for that people who doesn't like changes. For instance, Nemesis, appearance of Nemesis,
Right.
appearance of Jill, whatever,
Hmm.
like short gameplay or whatever.
Right.
So you always can play the previous version of this game.
That's true.
It's
It's
it's a nice answer for all people who are not
exactly. That's
who
what I say.
don't like.
If you like the originals, you can play the originals. They haven't
Yes.
gone anywhere. They're still there. If you like Julia's version, go play remake, and if you like, Sasha version, play remake 3. There you go. There's something for everyone.
I think it's kind of it's it's normal when something is changes because this franchise is existed for how long? Like 20
23 years.
25 20.
Yeah, well, yeah, probably since they started making the original. The original came out in '97. Was released in '97, so I'd say yeah,
Uh-huh.
23 years actually. So probably 25 since they started actually making them.
Mm-hmm.
Been out for a long time though. You have plenty of options.
So and it should be weird if they haven't changed nothing.
Right, exactly. Technology's come a long way. The people involved making it changed places, different concepts, different ideas have come through. But I think there's a little bit of something. And Jill has a lot of entries into the game. She's got 1, she's got 3, she's got Revelation, she's in 5. We just haven't really seen her in anything recent except for Remake 3. And maybe we'll see her again, hopefully in a future game. Maybe she'll have her own game again, which would be nice. What do you think about Nicole's work voicing Jill? I know you've done streams with her and you guys get along pretty well. You think she did a really nice job with voicing her? Can't really,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I really think so. And she did a great job, really great job. And Jill, when I said to you before, like when I hear Jill voice, I always
Picture
like
Nicole
I
now.
can picture Nicole. Yeah.
So, going back from the original game to the new one, we had the outfit. She wore in the original. She wore the tube top with the mini skirt and the high boots, and now she looks a more, I guess, casual. you know,
Mm-hmm.
with just the tank top and the jeans. She's still got her boots on. What do you think about the difference in the design of the character for what she's wearing?
So this again, I will answer as Steve answered to me.
Okay.
Uh, uh, the world is evolving, and it could be it's uh, it's very it could be very weird to have the same costume for Jill nowadays,
Right.
because world has changed a lot
Yeah,
from
definitely.
1996
90,
1999.
99 for Resident Evil
Mm-hmm.
3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot, and even back then, it didn't really like make sense to tackle the zombie apocalypse in a mini skirt and a tube top. But you don't maybe you
Mm-hmm.
don't have time to change.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get that. Things have changed since then. It makes more sense. This feels more natural. This feels like something she would have been wearing at home while she's doing her research, relaxing. So yeah, I guess that I see what he's saying. The times have changed. And that
So and once again, you still can play
you get the
previous
option.
games,
Hmm.
and you can use mods.
Yeah, that's true. There is a mod. It's not even a mod. There's an extra DLC or unlockable content in the game to put her in her original costume or a version of it. Ginger Snaps has another good question. Wants to know if you'd ever be interested in becoming an actress.
Um, I find this job is very interesting, but for now, I don't really feel that I can do this, because I really think that it's a huge effort,
Hmm.
and mm, it's not so that easy as many people think.
Yeah, there's a lot of skills that come involved with being an
Mm-hmm.
actor. You have to be able to become a different person. You have to be able
Mm-hmm.
to take direction. You have to understand, body movements, facial movements, presentation, all these things that you have to show on a camera, basically. As well as, like I said, being able to take direction, being able to work off of your castmate, being able to work off of the script. There's a lot involved to being an actor. A lot of people can be very critical, but they don't ever consider the amount of hard work that goes into not only being an actor, but making a game, any career, any profession. I think we take that for granted most of the time. So you've talked about the interview you have with the director that's coming out. Where can they watch that at? It's coming out next
When?
week, right? Yeah,
Next week, yeah.
next week. Is that going to be on your YouTube, or is there a specific place where they can go check it out?
Yes, my YouTube channel.
Okay. Can we promote your social media? Where can people follow you? Where can they watch this video and keep in touch with you?
Yes, sure. Like YouTube channel Sasha Zotova.
So it's just your name.
Yeah.
Is that the same for Instagram? Just under your regular name?
No, Instagram a little bit different. Shuzolotova. It's just a nickname, but
Okay. We
it's like yeah, it's complicated.
Okay. Well, we have your Instagram in the description. And then for people who want to go watch this video, it's coming out next week. If you're not already subscribed to Sasha's channel, make sure you do. I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting interview. I know I want to check it out. And go follow her Instagram. You have any other social media you'd like to throw out there for people to check out?
Mm, not really.
Pretty
No,
much
I
Instagram
just
and
I
YouTube?
just run Instagram and YouTube now. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody go follow. Give Sasha a follow. Keep in contact with her. Watch for this interview.
Thank you.
Since we're going to be wrapping this up here, I want to give you a minute to give your thanks, and if you have any messages for the fans, any final thoughts for them.
So first of all, thank you guys for watching this video, for your questions. It was they were super nice, really. I have like the chat over here,
Oh,
so
there
that's
you
why
go.
I'm
Yeah.
looking sometimes down. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. I always thank you on my streams, but probably some of you not watching me all the time. But anyway, I'm really glad to be in family now, and you're so lovely.
uh, do you do Twitch as well, or just YouTube?
Just YouTube.
Just YouTube.
I
Okay.
want I want to try Twitch, but I don't know why. But like foreign guys, I mean, from USA, Mexico from Mexico, um, Brazil, and other. They always suggest me Twitch, and Russian people, I don't know, they prefer YouTube. And I studied on YouTube, and everybody knows my YouTube, and that's why I'm continue to.
Yeah, and it's
Probably
good.
one day I will try Twitch because it's a little bit different, and I need to use to all this interface and
Yeah, there's some
do it.
differences. They have some different setup and different options, different features that YouTube doesn't have, but they're kind of catching up to each other. I think Twitch was just ahead of the game on all this. They started earlier, but I've kind of learned that stick to a platform as much as possible because the
Mm-hmm.
platforms don't like to play with each other. Twitch is
Mm-hmm.
very specific about keeping exclusive content, just like YouTube is. So yeah, so definitely everybody go check out the YouTube. Go watch Sasha's streams. Check out the interview that's coming next week. Follow her on Instagram. Sasha, welcome to the family. We love having you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you for
thank
this
you, everybody
conversation.
else. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm glad we were able to arrange this. It's difficult being way on the other side of the world sometimes to set these things up. It's not our usual stream time. So, again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this earlier stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I got some of your questions in there. Again, go follow Sasha. And Sasha, thank you again for taking the time out to hang out with us this morning or this evening for you.
Evening, yeah.
So, all right, thank you guys. We will see you here next time. Stay tuned. Go watch JJ stream tonight. He's playing, I think, some more Metal Gear with Corey on the JJ channel, not the Residents of Evil channel. So if you want to go see some more of that, and we will see you here next time on the Residents of Evil.